Ahoy hoy YouTube! I am back with 5 more things, and I almost have the next 5 all ready to go after this too. It's all these children's books. I'm just whipping through them real fast, like, as I should. I'm an adult. Meh. Debatable. Anyways, lots of books this time. First up, the 5th book in the Young Indiana Jones series called Princess in Peril. Released in 1991, this story... Indy's dad is going to Russia to research what went on there during the Crusades. So he's got things all set up. He couldn't pass Indy off on anybody else, so he's taking him with him. And they're actually going down to the part of Russia, Georgia, I think, in the southern part, which I guess was fighting for its independence back then and whatever. So Indy, exploring the train on the train ride there, runs into this boy who he has a bit of an encounter with, and ends up having to hide him from these thugs, basically, that are searching the train looking for this kid. And it helps the kid avoid, and then they go their separate ways. And when Indy's dad meets up with the guy who's kind of backing his trip into doing all this research, Indy is surprised to see the kid that's with this guy is the kid he helped on the train, but it's not a boy, it's a girl, and her name is Tamar, and she's actually a princess, a young princess destined to lead the Georgians, I guess, when the time is right. But there's lots of stuff going on within the country that she could be in danger. So she leaves a bit of a clue for Indy to come looking for her. And he eventually does find her. And they go off on a little bit of an adventure to get her out of hiding in the castle that she's in. Because this guy that mines her is so paranoid that she's going to get into trouble because of her station and what all kind of turmoil the country's in. So he wants her to stay on the down low, out of sight kind of thing, right? So, but they go off on this adventure and they get more than they bargained for, because eventually they get taken to a place called Baku, I believe it is, and this guy named Omar Faraki, who is some sort of leader in that region and has this grand scheme of taking over the land with some sort of scheme, and he needs a young noble princess in order to accomplish his scheme. So basically, Indy and Tamar get into trouble. They got nothing but the two of themselves to get themselves out of trouble. And of course, we all know there's going to be a book 6 and Indiana Jones movies down the line. So they do get out of trouble. I'm going to spoil it right there. Next up, book 3 in the Transformers Find Your Fate series called Attack of the Insecticons. This was released in 1986, and basically the story is, oh, my lip, dry lip, skin coming off. God, the winter sucks, man. The Autobots are inside some sort of mountain testing out a new battery prototype that Sparkplug has come up with called the Arc or something like that. I can't remember, something like that. No, the Sun Pack. So they got Ironhide running laps, testing the output of this thing, and everything's going well. But the Insecticon kickback is nearby and spies on them, and of course the Decepticons learn about this thing, and of course they attack. So there's all these different paths you can take, where Starscream gets control of the Sun Pack and says, "I'm going to use this to overthrow Megatron and be leader of the Decepticons." His usual shtick, right? Another arc has the Insecticons take the battery pack, and they plan on overthrowing Megatron and becoming the most powerful Decepticons. So there's all these pathways you read through, of course. And of course, as usual, I did every path so I could take in all of the different outcomes. And another solid story. The characters involved, the Insecticons, obviously, the 3 of them. Starscream, Megatron. Who else was in there for the Decepticons? I forget, there were some others, but then on the Autobot side of thing, like Prime was in there, Ratchet, Ironhide, Bumblebee, uh, Beachcomber. That he's a little off the board, so he was in this story. So yeah, another quick, easy children's story that you get to choose the adventure. So much fun. On that same vein, book number 5 of the G.I. Joe Find Your Own or Find Your Fate series. This one's called the Everglades Swamp Terror. So in this one, you take on the role of a Joe named Wise Guy, who I believe you've played in previous books. He's like a strategy master. So you're brought along on this mission to make all the decisions. So Duke informs you, and who else is in there? Cutter, Deep Six, Recondo, Gung Ho, and Lady J, I believe, are the other Joes involved in this mission. And so basically what's happened, Duke informs you that, who was it? No. Was it? No, Deep Six and Tripwire went down to the Florida Everglades to test out this newfangled hovercraft that the Joes might be able to use. Who's the one that goes on the mission then? There's another underwater guy that goes along on the mission. Maybe it's Torpedo. Yeah, maybe it's Torpedo. So basically, you need to make the decision on, okay, how are we approaching this this mission to recover our 2 allies and this hovercraft? So it starts off with like, you can go straight to the area where they disappeared in the Everglades and not waste time, or you can go to a big freighter you have in the area that has lots of armaments and stuff. You use that as your home base and strike out from there, which is going to take a bit more time, but maybe offer you a bit more backup and support sort of thing, right? So, and then from there, of course, it veers in all the different directions. Cobra Commander gets involved, all the other guys get involved, and sometimes you succeed, sometimes you lose. I always try, like I said, I read through every possible outcome. I always try on my first read through to get it right and finish with a good ending. And once again, I did so with both of these books. So I think I've only fucked up once so far in all these books that I've been reading. So far, so good.